and we're tearing across it in a golf cart in the rain, and Ian overturns it into a lake. We run back, however, and steal another one. What is happening, roadies? Welcome back to yet another story from Hell on Wheels, a Tour Stories compilation by Greg Jacobs. Thank you so much for coming back here, tuning into the channel. I really appreciate it. And if you've subscribed through wherever you listen to podcasts, I appreciate that as well. It's good to have you here. Happy holidays. I can't believe we are barreling here toward New Year's Eve, toward Christmas, all that good stuff. What are your 2022 plans? What do you got on the horizon? I'm curious to know. Leave me a comment, send me an email, info@roadiefreeradio.com, and let me know what you're thinking for 2022. 2021's been kind of a crazy year, as we all know. We're moving through it. We're getting through it. Anyway, I really appreciate you guys subscribing to both the YouTube channel here and to the podcast. It means a lot. Wouldn't be doing the show without you, so thank you so very much. Also, a big shout out to our sponsor for this special series, One of One Productions, the podcast solutions company out there. Yes, of course, you can buy gear from B&H and Amazon and do all that good stuff, but One of One Productions, that's what they do. They specialize in audio and podcasting gear. They've got everything from microphones, headphones, digital interfaces, recording solutions, storage solutions, the sweatshirts. They got all kinds of good stuff. One of One Productions. Check them out. Use the link in the description and then use the code ROADIEFREE when you check out. Now listen, you can pick yourself up a copy of this book, Hell on Wheels. If you can get it now, you can use that Amazon link in the description below. And I get a small penny off of that. But more importantly, you could wait until spring 2022 when University of Hell Press is going to be re-releasing Hell on Wheels with all of these stories and many, many more. So up to you. When that link is available, I will put that new link from University of Hell Press in the description as well, and we'll get to that for sure. Stick around with this series because hopefully in June I'm going to have Greg on the show to interview him and talk to him about the book and the stories and whatnot and how the whole thing came about, and maybe he's got something up his sleeve for the future. We'll see. But in the meantime, today's story is about one of my favorite bands out there, The Cult. Man, I'll tell you, growing up, late 80s, 90s, The Cult, She Sells Sanctuary, Love Removal Machine, Wildflower, great stuff. Some great tunes. Rain, man, Sister Wolf, I think that's a tune. Brother Wolf, maybe Brother Wolf, and Sister Moon. I don't know, but here we go. It's a great story. The Cult. Well, this one's about, I suppose this is one of my favorites, one of the funniest laughs I ever had. It doesn't always sound so funny saying it as it was there, which is kind of one of those things, I suppose. It's about trying to steal an airplane with The Cult. This is when we were supporting Billy Idol on the Electric Tour. Oh, the Electric Tour. The Electric album, by the way, side note, fantastic. Anyway, and we've been given 2 days off in a place called Lake Geneva in Wisconsin, which is a golfing resort. Altogether, there must have been 15 people in the crew and band, including Idol and the Cult's lot. We were staying at a golfing hotel with absolutely nothing to do but drink, because I think about 4 people out of the 15 played golf. There's a little lake at the resort, and the first day off was all right. We rented some of those jet ski things, and we played on them. I crashed one and sunk it. The first person to sink a jet ski. We were then banned from using them. So the second day, there was nothing to do whatsoever. Everyone started drinking about, I don't know, pretty early, breakfast. There were a few fans and stuff knocking around. There was a guy on the tour with us called John Miller. And John Miller was a mercenary. He was the Cult security guy. He actually wrote a book himself. He was like an ex-SAS soldier who'd been on the road as well, and he was like the biggest scammer you'd ever met. You could never believe anything he said. He was always trying to put one over on everyone. So, we have this guy on the road with us. This guy who had kidnapped Ronnie Beeks from Brazil and took him to Jamaica and tried to get a ransom for him from the English government. I don't know if you've ever heard of a guy called Lord Lucan, but John Miller was also the one who had set up this whole scam about the fact that he had found Lord Lucan. Now, Lord Lucan was the guy whose nanny was found dead, and he disappears and has never been seen again. So all these crappy newspapers in England, the Enquirer type, were contacted by John Miller, and he told them all that he had found Lord Lucan. He got a load of money out of them and told them to come to Jamaica. He set up this entire scam. Anyway, this is our security guide, just to give you a rough idea of what he was like. Well, we're in this golfing hotel. It's about 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and it's raining. It has been raining all day, and everyone is really bored and really drunk. There are absolutely no women within about 50 miles of this fucking hotel because we're in the middle of nowhere. Ian at this time, he's sober now, of course, but he was drinking a lot then, to say the least. We all were. In this particular instance, there was myself, Ian, John Miller, and this guy called John Yawn, who was the money guy. He was a little Jewish guy who was really funny. Ian decided that he wanted to steal a golf cart and learn how to drive because he couldn't drive and he still can't drive. So we got out to this parking lot around the back, and all of the golf carts had been chained up. Now, Miller goes off and finds a hacksaw blade and comes back and starts sawing through the steel chain. The security guy from the hotel comes up to us and he's asking us, what are we doing on all this? We say we're out here standing in the rain because Ian, the singer, is getting harassed by all these fans, and the security guard is going to have to go in and move them. The security guy completely falls for it and goes back inside, which gives us enough time to steal a golf cart. So we all jump in this golf cart. It's pouring rain, and we're all really drunk. Now, this is like a Jack Nicklaus designed course. They spent $30,000 on each putting green to get it right. You know what I mean? Now, we're tearing across it in a golf cart in the rain, like ripping it up and driving about, and Ian overturns the thing into a lake. We run back, however, and steal another one. So we're driving around and see this big fence. Miller then says that he has always wanted to do that thing they do in the Westerns where they drive through the fences. So we decide to drive in and out of this fence, making fucking great big holes in it, but eventually that gets boring as well. By this time, however, someone's obviously caught on to what's happening, and there's all these police cars driving across the golf course trying to find us, and there's all these lights going, but we're just laughing and giggling, thinking it's all really funny. We abandon the golf cart, and this is where John Miller takes over in his little military-style operations. We're all crawling on our bellies through this long grass, trying to get away from the police. We crawl all the way back to the hotel, and we are laughing our fucking asses off, and Ian decides that he hasn't had enough fun yet. He wants to steal another one. So we go out and steal another golf cart, and we drive down to this little country lane, which eventually leads to this airport. It's somewhat like a crop spraying airport with a few little, Cessna-type planes. John Miller then informs us that he can hotwire an airplane if we would like to go for a plane ride. Everyone is like, of course we do. So we open up one of those planes, and he jumps into the cockpit, and he seriously is trying to jumpstart this airplane. Then the police come barreling down the highway, and Ian is just sitting there gurgling. He's so fucking drunk while the police surround us in this plane. Now Miller, being as calm as can be, says, "Whatever you do, deny everything." We're sitting there in the plane, caught red fucking handed. And Miller tells the police that we're just trying to get away from the fans. At this point, we're about 4 miles from the hotel. The police subsequently take us back to the hotel. They don't do anything about the airplane. We talk our way out of everything, saying that we're just trying to get away from the hotel. When we arrive with the police back at the hotel manager is going absolutely fucking mad because we destroyed his golf course. We're immediately thrown out of the hotel, and by this time it's about 2 o'clock in the morning. So we're just standing there with nowhere to go. It's pouring rain, and there are no hotels for miles. We end up sleeping on the tour bus. The next morning, Miller is telling us that no matter what happens, Deny all. The tour manager then comes banging on the door. He's a rather stuck-up English guy called Barry Mead. He's asking us who's responsible for what happened, going down a list of the damages, including $30,000 to the greens, $700 to the fence, 3 golf carts. And he's asking who's going to pay for everything. We kept denying everything, saying we were framed. It wasn't us. The tour manager eventually knocked the bill down to $4,000 or $5,000, and that was about it, really, for the airplane story. I don't know if you can make it sound any funnier in words, but it was very funny at the time. I don't think I laughed so hard in all my life. I mean, come on, man. Stealing an airplane with the Cult and Billy Idol? Dudes, that would be awesome. I'm all over that thing. That's this week's story. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you to 101 Productions for sponsoring. And remember, if you want to support a crew member in need so that they can keep doing more of this crazy stuff, head over to roadiefreeradio.com. I got stickers, buttons, and magnets. Pick some of that stuff up, and a portion of those proceeds every month will go to musiccares.org or roadiecare.com to help a crew member in need during this wacky, crazy time. Stay safe, stay healthy. I'll see you down the road.